Hi, welcome to Enado Intermediate Online Classes. This is Dr. M. Channakeshwulu, Junior Lecturer in Botany. Today, I shall discuss about diffusion and facilitated diffusion in secondary botany. First chapter, transport in plants. In this chapter, the important topics are diffusion and facilitated diffusion. So plants absorb water and minerals from the soil with the help of their root system. So the water present in the roots diffuses to the all parts of the plant body. You know that all green plants can synthesize their food in the leaves by the process of photosynthesis. So the sugars or food is synthesized in the leaves is transported to the remaining all parts of the plant body. So plants needs water and food materials, minerals for their growth and development. So animals have circulatory system. They have a specific organ, heart, so which can pump the blood and other required materials from one cell to the other cells. But plants do not have such type of circulatory system. So how the water and food is transported inside the plant body? So they can be transported inside the plant body by diffusion and facilitated diffusion only. Are you able to follow? So in the plant body, the transport of water and minerals is unidirectional. It is a unidirectional. So the water absorbed by the plant roots can transport to the shoot system, branches, leaves and flowers only. But the organic food materials synthesized in the leaves can transport to the remaining plant parts like stem and roots. Sometimes the food is stored inside the roots also. So whenever the plants do not show photosynthesis or in the absence of light, the sugars are again come back to the other plant parts like stems, leaves, flowers and fruits. So the water movement is a unidirectional, that is a single directional from roots to the leaves or shoot system. But the transport of food materials is from the roots to the leaves and leaves to the roots. So it is called a multi-directional. Even though the food is stored in the leaves, so they can transport to the remaining plant parts, all parts, flowers, fruits, roots and stems. Sometimes the stored food materials in the other parts of the leaf can also come back to the distribute to the upward movement or downward movement. So that is why the transport of organic food materials is a multi-directional. Okay. So what do you know about diffusion? So diffusion is the physical process. So it is a movement of molecules from the region of high to low concentration. Be remember. So movement of molecules takes place from high to low concentration. So if you add copper sulfate crystals in a conical flask containing water, so the copper sulfate crystals slowly diffuse in the water till the solution becomes a uniform saturation or in equilibrium condition. So in solids, the attractive force are more between the molecules, hence the molecules vibrates only, but they cannot show movement around the each particle. So in liquids, the molecular attractive force can weak or low, so they can move around with greater freedom. You see here, you can add any dye to the water containing beaker. So the dye may be saffron solution or any required dye. if you add 2 to 3 drops of dye to the beaker containing water, so this dye can slowly shows diffusion in the water. So we can see the diffusion of water molecules, and finally, so the diffusion takes place up to the solution becomes a uniform color. So you can see the diffusion of liquids because so the attractive forces between the liquids and between the liquid water molecules is low. So in gases, the intermolecular attraction is very low or negligible. So the molecules diffuse faster. So in gas molecules, you see the diagram. So this is a higher concentration. So these gas molecules are very nearer. So in diffusion, so the molecule shows distant, and finally the molecules shows very distant from each other. So because see the intermolecular attractive forces between the gases is very low or negligible. Hence, the gas molecules show fast diffusion than the liquids. So liquids shows faster diffusion than the solids. Okay. So that is the diffusion. So diffusion is a physical process, so in which the molecules or ions shows movement from high to low concentration. So what are the use of diffusion in the plant body? See here. So exchange of gases takes place between the plant and the atmosphere. So in the process of photosynthesis, so the plants leaves absorbs carbon dioxide and releases oxygen. So in respiration, so the leaves absorbs oxygen and releases CO2. So the gases exchange is an example of a diffusion process. So because the movement of molecules takes place from high to low concentration. So in the atmosphere, so more carbon dioxide present, so that can enter into the leaves. And also the absorption of soil mineral ions by roots. So the absorption of so mineral ions by the plant body is also second example of a diffusion process. So transpiration through stomata and lenticels. So loss of water from the leaves of the plant body is called as a transpiration. So the loss of water from the aerial parts of plant body or from the leaves in the form of vapor is called as a transpiration. So it occurs with the minute pores present in the leaf epidermis and young stems. In old stems, instead of stomata, lenticels are present. Lenticels are present. So the transpiration occurs through the stomata and lenticels is an example of a diffusion process. So some plants emits odor, a good smell, or some plants gives a bad smell. So this is also an example of a diffusion. So see here. So this is the Banti. So Tacita erecta. So it can emit a good smell. And this is the Malle, Jasminum sambac. It can also give a good smell. So this is the night queen, Cestrum nocturnum. And this is the Devaganeru, Plumeria species, Plumeria alba. So all these flowers emits good smell. So Rafflesia flower, this is the Rafflesia flower. So this flower emits some type of bad odor. So this flower is the largest flower in the plant kingdom. So Rafflesia is even though it is a parasitic plant, so these flowers are very big in size in all plants. So nearingly it measures about 3 feet diameter. So 3 feet in length and 3 feet in width. So it has the biggest or largest flowers in the plant kingdom, Rafflesia flowers. So it can give also odor or a smell. So if you open the perfume bottle, so the perfume also released into the or diffused into the room till the room atmosphere becomes a uniform or saturation. So these are the examples of a diffusion. So in plants, the gases exchange and emission of fragrance or smell, and occurrence of transpiration. So these are all the examples of diffusion process inside the plant body. Second one is the facilitated diffusion. So movement of molecules or solid particles from one cell to the other cell through the special proteins is called as porins. So these porins are distributed in the cell membrane or plasma membrane of the cell. So you know that inside the cell wall a living membrane or cell membrane is present. So the cell membrane has some special proteins called as porins. So the diffusion mediated with the help of porin molecules is called as a facilitated diffusion. So this is the structure of cell membrane. So all the molecules present in the outer surface of the cell enter into the cell through the cell membrane. But so the cell membrane also contains some special protein molecules. So this is the one porin, this is the second porin, and this is the third porin. These are the special protein molecules. Facilitated diffusion is the slow process and depends on solubility in lipids. So the hydrophilic substances like sugars and amino acids needs a facilitated diffusion. So in a facilitated diffusion, so generally the hydrophilic, the water loving substances or polar substances like sugars and amino acids are entered into the cell through the special protein molecules called as porins. Is it clear? So but this type of porins cannot found in the diffusion process. So in the diffusion, so simply the molecules was transport from outer side to the inner side of the cell through the cell membrane from any part of the cell membrane. But the water molecules or water loving substances cannot move through this area because the cell membrane is made up of lipids and proteins. As you know that, so the structure of cell membrane was proposed by Singer and Nicholson as fluid mosaic model. So according to this model, so this cell membrane contains lipids and proteins. So the lipid molecules cannot allow the water loving substances like sugars and amino acids. Hence these sugars and amino acids transport needs porins or special proteins. So these proteins are randomly distributed inside the cell membrane. So this is the one porin molecule. So it can catch the water loving substances like glucose or sucrose or any amino acids like glycine, methionine, phenylalanine, tyrosine, different types of amino acids captured by these porins and transferred into the cell. So this is facilitated diffusion. So the diffusion is facilitated by the special porin molecules. So these porins are present in the cell membranes. They may be aquaporins. So generally they can be distributed in these membranes of mitochondria and chloroplast, and vacuoles also having the special protein molecules. They are called as porins. So it is a very slow process. So it depends on the solubility in lipid molecules. So the transport may be two types: passive transport and active transport. So in passive transport takes place without metabolic energy. So you know that due to the metabolism, ATP is synthesized. ATP means adenosine triphosphate. So ATP is synthesized during respiration. So that energy can be used in the active transport but not in the passive transport. So the transport of molecules from one cell to other cell without energy is called as a passive transport. So this passive transport contains three types of protein molecules. So uniporters, symporters and antiport. So uniport is the movement of molecules independent of other molecule. So movement of a single molecule, uni means single, movement of single molecule from outer side to the inner side of the cell is called as a uniport. So this is the, see the diagram. So movement of the substance or molecule from outer side to the inner side. Only one molecule transport takes place, called as a uniport. So in symport, movement of two molecules takes place in the same direction. Substance 1, substance 2. So they can show movement from outer side to the inner side of the cell in the same direction. So that is the symport. So movement of two molecules in the same direction. So antiport, movement of two molecules in opposite directions through cell membrane is called as a antiport. So substance 1, molecule 1 transported from outer side to the inner side, and the second molecule moves from inner side to the outer side of the cell. So this transport only through the porins only. So it is nothing but facilitated diffusion, and diffusion are the examples of passive transport. So they cannot use metabolic energy like ATP. So active transport. So transport of molecules by using a metabolic energy like ATP. What is ATP? ATP stands for adenosine triphosphate. So in the cell, due to respiration, ATP is produced. So by the consumption of ATP, the molecule shows movement from low to high concentration. So in active transport, the movement of molecules takes place from low concentration to high concentration by using ATP. Hence, it is also named as a uphill transport. So the active transport is also named as a uphill transport. So you can see this diagram. So in diffusion, the movement of molecules takes place from high to low concentration. In physical diffusion, the movement of molecules transport takes place from high to low concentration through the porins only. So in both diffusion and physical diffusion, so energy is not utilized, hence it is a passive transport. So sometimes if the cell needs more amount of ions or molecules, so the movement takes place from low to high concentration also by the consumption of ATP. So that is why the movement of molecules from low to high concentration by using ATP molecules is called as a active transport. So the transport of molecules may be two types: passive transport and active transport. In passive transport, energy is not utilized. In active transport, energy is consumed. So you can see the comparison of different types of transport mechanisms: simple diffusion, facilitated diffusion, and active transport. So in simple diffusion, the special membrane proteins are not required. It is also not highly selective. So in simple diffusion, the transport saturation does not take place. In simple diffusion, the uphill transport is not takes place. So simple diffusion does not require ATP energy also. But active transport, all the properties or parameters are required. In active transport, special membrane proteins are required, and also highly selective process. So transport transition takes place, saturation of transport takes place. So uphill transport takes place, and active transport, uphill transport, movement of molecules from low to high concentration. So this it requires ATP energy also. Whereas in a facilitated diffusion or facilitated transport, so it requires special membrane proteins, and it is a highly selective process, and the transport also reaches to the saturation, but it does not requires ATP energy, and it is not a uphill transport. So it is a very important table. So by learning this table, you can easily answer the one question in a NEET question also every year. So one question coming from this table. So either in matching or in wrong statements or correct statements. So please read once or twice and remember this table for attempting the answers in the NEET also. NEET questions. Okay. Thank you for watching this video class.